Alright, let's get started. I'm Eclipse and I'm back. What's up, casters? Today we're going to be opening up this box and showing off what is inside. This is sent to us from the one and only aDrive. We did a little trade with the creator of this game, Elestrals. We pulled the world's first stellar larva cell on pre-release day at Madtown Hobby, and we traded it to him for the goodies that you're going to see in this box. So please make sure you like the stream, share the stream, and show off all of the cool stuff that we're going to have in this box. And then we will do a quick breakdown of what we're going to do, what our deck is going to be in our box battle against StellarChristophe. If you're hanging out in chat, please let me know. Make sure the audio and everything's good. We will keep alert on that and make sure everything's good, voice is good, background music's good. And then, yeah, if you're new to the channel, please attack that subscribe button so that we can increase our sub count. I think I'm gonna make I haven't really talked about a goal yet, but I think I'm gonna do my first goal to be 50 subs, and I think we're almost halfway there already. So let's try to hit 50 subs. So please like, share, subscribe, and let's get this channel to grow. Alright, so I am gonna move this box off screen because I don't want to show any shipping info for either myself or Dan. So we're going to set that over here to the side. And then we're going to pull the items out one at a time and we're going to show them off. So I think we have, first off, the #1 most important thing in the box, the bubble wrap. Kidding. Everything in this box was protected very well. I think there was more bubble wrap in the box than product. So, that's kind of cool. We are going to, yep, alright. Everything is in here. So let's start with the biggest item that we were sent. So like I said, we traded one of the serialized X out of 99 Stellars from Daybreak. The first thing that we got sent from aDrive is this Stellar Hydrake prototype blister. So there's only about 50 or so of these in the world. This Hydrake has promo instead of any serialized number or anything, and this is one of the first run of products that they did. So this Stellar is not serialized, but it is incredibly rare. So this is the biggest hit of this box. How's it going, Greensville? What's up? This is the biggest thing that we got sent and where the majority of our trade value came in at, but this is really awesome to have. Not sure 100% what we're going to do with this. Everything here is going to stay sealed for the moment, and we'll figure out something later that we're going to do with these. But yeah, these also have the prototype mark on there, so this is incredibly rare. Like I said, only about 50 of these blisters were made, and this is something cool to have in our collection, or to maybe have somebody else add to their collection if they're interested. So I'm going to set this aside over here. The second thing that we were sent is fairly similar. So it's another prototype product. This is a prototype Penterror starter deck. This is a sealed starter that has not been opened. There is a hollow Penterror inside, I am told, as well as a paper playmat. So it was the only time they did paper playmats were these prototype decks. You've got the list of cards in there on the side, which I don't know if it changed at all. It looks to be pretty much the same as the normal starter deck, but this is just the prototype product. It's the back of the box. And then the side. So, honestly, this is kind of something cool. Again, super awesome collector's item for this game. I like how the top isn't quite, like, isn't flat like most is, and there's a little angle to it. So, yeah, this is something cool that got added on along with the Hydrake. So we got the Stellar Hydrake and we have the Penterror. I don't remember. I don't think the starter decks had the prototype starter decks. I don't think they had Stellars in them. I know the Founders Edition or Kickstarter Edition did, but I believe the packs in the blister, since they should come out of what was made for prototype boxes, there should be a chance for there to be a Stellar prototype 1 of 12 in the pack. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that we have that. There's that chance. So yeah, we got Penterror and we have Hydrake. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And while we're talking about prototype blister packs, we have one, not two, but 3 extra prototype blisters that were sent to us as part of this trade. So, like I said, all this stuff right now is staying sealed. We're not opening any of it on camera right now. Just because don't know what we're going to do with this at the moment. But this is another really cool thing to have. I think there was only about 50 or so. You claim the left one. Might be, maybe. We'll see what we do with them. There was only, I believe, about 50 or so booster boxes of prototype made. And each box had a guaranteed 1 out of 12 Stellar. So any of these packs could contain a prototype holo or prototype Stellar. So these are another really cool thing to have. Set those aside as well with the Hydrake blister. And then finally, sorry for that, I bumped the mic there. To wrap things up, we have a couple of singles that were added in as well. We have I traded the Stellar Larvacell. So we opened up a case on the 9th at Madtown Hobby, and we pulled the world's first Larvacell to be opened on stream. You can go check out that stream on this channel. It's the very first stream that I did. And you can go see what other goodies we pulled from that. But yeah, we traded the Stellar Larvacell for everything that you're seeing here. It is a very nice Stellar. I was considering keeping it myself, but Dan just kind of made a incredible offer. So I decided to, you know what? Let's just say that we traded with Maximilian Pegasus. Why not? And speaking of Maximilian Pegasus, a couple of the other things that we were sent is this No Art Altar of Stars. So this is a prototype card. It is not legal for play, but this is one of the really cool things that we were sent. I need to make sure I have some hard cases to put these in. Figure out where those went to. There's one. Make sure these are extra protected. So, No Art Altar of Stars and an Island of Aeolia sleeve. So this is a really cool thing that they had from Prototype when they were just making the game. The wording on the card is slightly different, just because they are not using the spirit symbol or anything. And there's obviously no set numbers, and it has the prototype symbol down here. So this is really cool. The next really cool thing we have is a prototype Stellar non-serialized non-hollow Amphitrix. So I haven't actually seen anybody else with this because it's a non-serialized prototype Stellar and there's no hollow on it. So that's really, really cool. I love how you can see the art very clearly, and then Amphitrix is a fantastic looking Elestral when it's Stellar. The black and red Phoenix looks really, really good. So we're gonna put that in a hard case as well. So we got 2 additional prototype cards along with everything else. And finally, we're to honestly my favorite portion of the trade. Obviously it's the lowest value of it, but this part is just really cool for me personally. We got a Daybreak Dratora signed by aDrive. We have a Lustragon Hollow also signed, because this is currently my favorite Elestral in the game, and he offered to send me a signed one with everything else. And also a signed Phosphocell. So Phosphocell signed doesn't really fit in with the rest of this, but knowing how much Dan is a fan of bug-type Pokemon, and having been following him for a long time, I thought it would be cool to have a signed Phosphocell, because a certain other game doesn't want to make their similarly statured dragon into a bug, so we'll leave that at that. But that concludes everything that we got in this trade. So I'll spread it out a little bit so you can see it on all at once on screen. We got the blister pack. We got 3 Hydreic, or we have the Hydreic blister. We got 3 prototype packs. We have the prototype Pantera starter deck, the no art Altar of Stars, the non-hollow, non-serialized Stellar prototype Amphitrix, and a couple of signed Daybreak cards. What's up, Claw? So we traded the first ever pulled Stellar Larvacell for everything that you see here. So we traded it to Maximilian Pegasus himself, and he wanted to trade all of this for that stellar little bug. Yeah, this was a crazy offer. I had a couple of other offers that were for people looking for that card, and I was considering even keeping it myself because it was one of my chases. But I think Dan just made an offer that was too hard to pass up. So this is some really cool bits of Elestrals history. I'm going to move the signed cards up and show prototype stuff in the middle so there's less glare. I say less glare. That's a little bit better. But yeah, this is a fairly impressive trade, and kind of hard to believe that some of the stuff is sitting in front of me. And any of these packs, I believe, have chances to have prototype Stellars in them. Prototype Stellars were 1 per box, and they were only serialized out of 12. Yeah, if anything you see here piques your interest, Claw, and you're looking to pick some of it up, let me know. Shoot me a DM on Discord and we can talk. But yeah, we got a pretty serious haul here. So let's put this away for now. Put it back in the box and move it aside. Sorry, I hit my microphone again. And the 3 Daybreak signed cards are going in my binder in my master set, just because they are super cool, and I've got a few cards already signed by Dan. Yeah, this Phosphocell is going in my binder just as a kind of little history reminder of Dan being a Pokemon creator and taking what Pokemon wouldn't do and making it himself. And then Lustragon and Dratora being the best puppy dragons. Those are my favorite Elestrals right now, so they're going to be sitting in my binder with the signed Viscers and the signed Vipiro as part of my personal collection. If you are looking for any like regular Phosphocell holos, I might have a couple extra. I'll have to go through and double check. I don't need any more, but for now, that's everything from that package. So we're going to go over really quickly our deck profile for what we're going to run against the one and only StellarChristophe. So if you haven't seen already, StellarChristophe and I did a box battle for Daybreak, and we both streamed our POVs. You can check that out on my channel. You can see what we pulled. I won the box battle. I had the more points than Chris did, so for my deck, I chose to use the Divine Apollo. So I got extra Solar Spirits, and I can use 3 copies of Apollo. And we are only using what we pulled in that booster box to build this deck. And I figured, since we pulled a few of them, we were going to build Lions. So, for this deck, we're going to be playing 3 Nebuleo. Really good card. Can actually be really strong just on its own, with either in a Solar Mirror match, or with things like Fleece or even Apollo on the field, because it gets stronger for every Solar enchanting the field. Along with that, we have our 2 Leobrites. We only pulled 2 in the box, so that's not too bad. It's a pretty good number to run. Ideally, I would have run 3, but I think we're okay. And then we're running 2 of the 3 Celestleos we pulled. So, Celestleo is a very big kitty and is actually pretty threatening. Being able to destroy 1 card for every foretold Solar of its own effect is really good. And because this is a sealed Daybreak build, we really don't have a lot of extra like rune play. So it's going to be pretty heavy on Elestrals. So, my ring light is glaring that, I do apologize, but we have 2 of the Celestleo there. We're running 2 Plucky in order to search out our Apollos. We're running 3 Soulbell. Soulbell is very strong to be run in any Foretell deck, and it works really well alongside Apollo. It's a pretty decent defender on its own, and then just being able to Foretell 5 and set up your hand and being able to just get that special cast if we get it is really, really strong. To go with it, we're running 2 Soul Stocks. Soul Stocks special sends off of Foretell, and then the effect that I keep forgetting about, you can disenchant from Apollo to destroy anything on the field. So the 2 Solar being added from the Underworld is really good, but that destruction effect is really good because this deck does not have a lot of outs for dealing with any Elestrals or anything, or even really for back row. So, and our last couple of Elestrals, we're running 1 single copy of Corvashine, and we're running 3 Cafmel. Cafmel is really good off Ascension or if it's destroyed, it's a basically free ambrosia. And this deck is primarily solar, so it's going to be really good to recover those solar spirits because we don't have any ambrosias of our own. Another tech that we're using that doesn't see a lot of play right now is Glimbats. We're running 3 Glimbat. This is kind of, in my head, primarily going to be used for its second effect. It effectively is a play it, disenchanted, and draw 2. So we get an extra way to play Nog without actually playing Nog. Otherwise, it just fills up the Elestral slots in our deck and can be shown off of either any of our foretells to add to hand or just set up our deck. Our last solar Elestral we're running is 3 copies of Lumaru. Lumaru is a very strong beat stick and has that little extra mill if it destroys anything on the field. But primarily, we just wanted to have the 5 attacker since most of solar is fairly defensive outside of its ascension line, big ascension lines. Now we're going to go away from solar and show off a little bit of our side strategy. We're running 2 Ash Rabbit. So, unlike being able to run Ash Rabbit for consistency, Ash Rabbit is going to give us the option to bring back a card from my Underworld. Plan for this is basically, again, it's a 5 defender, so we get a little bit of extra defensive body on the board. But then, with its receive effect, it's at worst heal 1, at best add a Elestral or Counter Rune or Invoke Rune back to our hands. So Ash Rabbit's going to be hopefully pretty useful. There's only 2 in the deck, but we're hoping that it'll be either drawn well enough defensively or played in the mid-late game to return a key piece of our deck to their hand. To help with consistency, I'm playing 3 First Lights just so I can search out a Elestral and get ready for it for the next turn. Pretty standard staple card for any solar deck, especially with Foretell, because then you know what's coming. This combos really, really well with Leo Bright. First light your Celestleo to the top of the deck, and then use your Leo Bright to special ascend it on Foretell. We have our 3 Apollos, which is kind of the central piece of our deck. Foretell and add cards to hand. Not much else to be said about this, aside from it being the Divine that we chose, and we're using the Shattered Stars art because it's awesome. Alright, we're playing 3 Temple of the Sun. We don't have any Stadium Searchers, so this is honestly kind of just a filler piece. There's not really much else we wanted to play, but I figured at least if we have a stadium that we could play, we will be able to have some of our 4 defenders be 5. And now for the really strange stuff. On top of the 2 Ash Rabbits, we're playing 3 Follow the Wisps. So, Daybreak doesn't have a lot of playability with counter runes in the set, similar to how there wasn't really much counter rune play in the Frostfall Sealed. However, Follow the Wisps can be a very strong card splashed into any deck, because just for a single fire, you can target any Elestral on your board and make it the only thing that they can attack. So, let's say, for example, I had a, let's just say Nebuleo on the field and 2 Soul Bell with an Apollo. My Nebuleo is going to be incredibly powerful with a very high attack stat. So if I use Follow the Wisps on it, I could protect my weaker Elestrals and hopefully thwart some attack attempts. So that's probably one of the best splashes that you can make in a Daybreak only deck. and then if you just happen to have 2 of them, or you draw 1 later, then you can just pick another Elestral on your field, and you basically have the Fun Guide lock, even if we're not playing Fun Guide. I thought about playing Fun Guides instead of Rabbits, but I think Rabbit's better for the defensive capability, and then Follow the Wisps is going to help with stun locking anything as long as we have a big body on board. And for the last 2 cards, we're doing 2 Rock and a Hard Place. So this is again spot removal. Can't be chained by counter runes, which we don't really have to worry about, except for potentially Golden Guardian of the Fleece. I didn't pull any Golden Fleece, so there was no point in me running Guardians. But this will let you target a Elestral and a rune, and your opponent has to destroy 1. So this is again a little bit of spot removal if we need it, and just a couple of decent playable cards to fill up the deck. So that is our 40 card deck. And for our Spirit deck, we're running 2 Water, 2 Lunar, 4 Fire, and 12 Solar. So we have all of our Solar to kick off our main combos. We have the Water and the Lunar in order to play the Rocks at a Hard Place, and then 4 Fire for Follow the Wisps and Ash Rabbits. Calf Mouths will allow us to heal up our Solar and reuse those as needed. The Fire, Lunar, and Waters are going to be very risky to use because there's no way for us to get them back. So that's going to be really interesting to see how the game goes and what decisions we're going to have to make as far as spirit damage and just getting good cards onto the field. So that is the deck that we're going to be running against StellarChristophe. Personally, I think it's probably the best deck I could have made out of one sealed box. I would have built probably closer to a Brontowisp deck, but I did not pull. I don't remember if I pulled only 1 Brontowisp or if I pulled 2, but either way, the fact that we pulled a playset of Celestials kind of just tweaked the idea. Okay, let's just run discount Lions, because Lions are pretty consistent to what I've played as long as you can get the pieces that you need. And then Nebuleo on its own with some solar support can be fairly strong. Plus, a lot of the Foretell effects allow you to add multiple different types of cards to hand. So that's going to be our deck profile. I don't have a side deck ready. I really don't know what I would put in the side deck if I were to add one. I think I still have most of my hollows still over here. Those don't count. So yeah. So just out of the rest. I thought about playing Novacore, but there's not really a lot of counter runes going to be played. Heliolith I have no use for because I don't have any artifacts to play. I could potentially play Bow, but I don't think the payoff is worth it. And then yeah, so I did pull 1 Brontowisp, but if I would have pulled a second one, I would have leaned more towards this strategy. So I only heard bits and pieces of what was going on with Chris building his deck, so I don't really know what to expect. And honestly, I know Chris was okay with me sticking around and listening in to make it harder on himself, but I think going in without that much knowledge is going to make it more fun for the both of us. What's up, Kyodai? You did miss a little bit. I basically just showed off the deck that we're going to be playing against StellarChristophe in our pack battle. I pretty much built discount Celestleo at home. Celestleo cows, camels, Glimbats for draw, Luminate for 5, or Lumaroo for 5s, a couple Ash Rabbits for defense and for reclaim, typical solar staples. Big part of our strategy is going to be follow the wisps. Any of our big Elestrals that we get on the field, we could play a follow the wisps to stop big attacks from going off, and then a couple rock and a hard place for our spot removal. And then we also showed off what we got from Dan in our trade, which I will show off again real quick. But we traded Dan a Stellar Larvacell, and we got a few really cool things. We got a prototype Hydrake Blister. We got a prototype Penterror starter deck. 3 prototype booster packs. A prototype No Art Altar of Stars, and prototype non-hollow, non-serialized Stellar Amphirex, as well as signed copies of Dratora, Lostragon, and Phosphocell. So those are what we got from Dan for the Larvacell trade. We got a lot of prototype product and a couple of signed cards to go in personal master set collection. So we got quite a bit, I think. If I'm being completely honest, the majority of this was Dan's proposal. For I guess this is how he valued, how much he valued that Larvacell. But yeah, this is quite the haul, and we're gonna probably figure out what we're gonna be doing with some of this stuff later. If anybody has any interest in prototype stuff, feel free to DM me on Discord, and if you see something you like, maybe we can work out a deal. But other than that, this is pretty much all we got for today. Don't have any extra stuff to open. All of this is remaining sealed for now. So I guess if anybody in chat has any questions, we'll feel free to answer those real quick before we head off. Alright, well, I think we're just going to end the stream there then. We've gone over the deck profile, and I don't really have anything else to show off or open right now, so we will check back in with y'all later. Have a good one, and we will see you casters next time. Peace!